All right, this is my first video on my brand new phone. I have the Samsung S21 Plus, I think. It has the best camera, and I do not look as good in the videos. I look more real. And now you can see all my wrinkles. You can see them all much better. Yes. I was just playing some piano and I may go for a walk after this. And I was just thinking about how much I enjoy my company. And one of the risks that I would take being in a relationship is going to be if there was someone else in my home right now, would that person also be happy with their life like I am? Or would they be walking around angry because they hate their job, or sluggish because they don't work out or eat right? Or would they be depressed or anxious? Because so many people have mental and emotional health issues. And you don't always know that when you first meet someone because they put on this happy face or whatever. But what's that person really like day to day? And that's when people can get irritating. Is this person? And I've known friends who got into relationships where initially it was all great. Like I had a friend who would always go for these alcoholic type of guys, but they would not drink a lot because they were in love the first 30 days. But then once that wore off, they would start drinking. That one time, my friend's boyfriend was supposed to pick her up from the airport. He never showed up. She had to take a cab home in the blizzard. Found him on the kitchen floor, passed out drunk. This guy owned a car dealership and was in his 60s. Yeah. So, like, and everybody's got some kind of issues. Like, my issue would be I don't like to work a lot. I like to play, but like, what are this person's issues? Do they have debts they haven't told you about? Like, what are their debts? Like, are you going to be okay with all of that? I think people think about the upside too much and don't think about the downside because the wrong person can drag you down and make your life miserable. Being around people who are happy with themselves is great, but does this person get easily triggered? And remember, initially everything is fine, but the newness is going to wear off. Do they easily get bored? And do they blame you for it? Or do they know how to self-regulate? Do they get triggered easily where they have to blame you? You made me feel this way. Or, they withdraw and pull away. Or they giving you a good dick game in the beginning and then it's all, downhill from there. Like I'm just not that sure that someone in my home all the time would be an addition. I like it very quiet in here. What if someone always has to have the TV on? That would drive me nuts. And I like to sleep with the window open. When I wake up in the morning now, it's usually like 60 degrees, 57 degrees. But what if there's a guy who wants the heat on all night and he snores? I guess I could have separate bedrooms, separate homes. Um, there's just so many things that could go wrong. That's what I want to say. I just want to talk about the downside of being in a relationship. And for me, I already had my relationship, so I think it's a good thing for everyone to go through it because being with someone and tiptoeing around their difficulties and all of that can be, enriching and expanding. But I think it's important to pick somebody good who's not an alcoholic. Like, rule out the major red flags. Someone who is an alcoholic or something like that's just someone who has mental health issues, like they're really depressed or whatever. They probably wouldn't be dating anyway. But alcoholics date, people who were sexually abused date, and then you could end up with some woman who's like doesn't want to have sex with you ever or withhold sex from you to punish you. Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking that it's hard for me to imagine a guy that would add value to my life. It's hard for me to imagine that. I guess I'm just getting more cynical because I like my space, I like my quiet, and because I make my own money, I'm like, what can a man do for me? What can a man really do for me? That's what I ask myself. Now, if you're a young guy and you still want to get married and have children, I can see your point. But now, if you're, say that you've already been married and already had kids, do you ever think, like, what could a woman do for me? What could a man really do for me? Because the chances of them making my life worse seem so much higher than the fact that they would make my life better. Whereas I feel I could make someone's life better provided they like the same things I like. I mean, someone who wants to blare the TV, I would not make their life better because I would be pissed. And someone who needs to get drunk every night, I wouldn't even tolerate. I'd kick his ass to the curb. Or someone who isn't good with his money, or who's like philandering or chubby or has no dick game. Like, if a guy starts fucking me badly, I would be like, why are we even doing this? You know, I already had my kids. I don't need to be with you for the kids. I don't need to be with you for the money. I don't need to be with you because I'm afraid to be on my own, or I'm afraid of dying alone. I faced all that, so the only reason to be with you is because you're fun and you add value. And I think a lot of people don't add value. That's what I think. A lot of guys don't add value other than for the short-term moment. Like, I love my escort clients. I think they add a lot of value for while they're here. But even then, you guys, I have to be honest, sometimes it's really hard to get turned on for men that I have no feelings for, you know? And I hate to say that because some of my clients watch my videos, but I'm just being honest. Like, women are not like men. A man can look at a woman and say, that's a pussy, that's some curves, I want to get near that. They just have that draw, and their brain shuts off. Our brains don't shut off. We are evolutionarily programmed to scan for hundreds of cues in 2 seconds. And if you pull some shit like you're lying to me, I don't even want to see you. I don't care how good your dick game is. But if I don't have feelings for you, it's hard to get turned on for you. I have to work to get turned on for every client. I'm going to be honest. And that's why they pay me what they pay me. I have to work internally. Do you ever, I'll explain it this way. Have you ever had a really dry mouth and you were trying to generate spit? It takes a lot of effort. Or you're, say you're full and you're in a hot dog eating contest and you have to keep eating. Like, you're trying to make your mind, get your body into a state it's not naturally in. Like, you're trying to generate a physical response that isn't naturally there. And for us as women, for us as women, sex isn't like it is for men. That's why so many women stop having sex with their husbands. That's why so many of you guys who are single looking for you're the one, some of you might have good sex throughout your marriage. Some of you will end up in sexless marriages because your wife will no longer want to fuck you because the kids, the stress and illness, or your dick game gets off, or you're stressed or angry, or she's pissed off at you. And so for women, there are a lot more factors involved. So that's why sometimes a half hour, that's why it's better for me if they don't even try to go down on me or play with my pussy sometimes, because it's better if I just do stuff to them. That's the best. And just fuck them. Ride their cocks and do stuff to them. Just stay away from the button part of my clit. Stay away from my nipples is the best, okay? Because I have to be really turned on to want you to go to my most sensitive areas. I'm kind of divulging a lot here. But I think that might be helpful for people, And so, but I've been masturbating more than usual. I still masturbate, and actually more than usual, which is like, usually it's like 2 or 3 times a week. Now, yesterday was actually twice because I'm working more on my sleeping thing, And I'm 60, I don't take any hormones, and I really, really want to keep my libido. So when it declines, I get freaked out. I get worried when my libido goes down. getting warm in here. Yeah, I get worried when my libido goes down. I try to keep it up. So I will be honest and say that my libido does vary, even though I don't ovulate anymore. It does seem cyclical. Like there can be weeks at a time where I can just be sitting around in the morning reading a book and I feel really aroused. And there can be I can go for weeks at a time where I feel nothing. And it's the times when I feel nothing that I have a really hard time getting turned on. So that's when I have guys like, touch me this way, touch me that way. But I want to, ideally I'm having sex with a guy where I'm turned on and wanting it, not that he's got to get me turned on. But that's the thing I've been struggling with. And I might start something. I have a couple appointments tomorrow. I'm going to start something where I get myself turned on before they get here, because I noticed I was doing this thing where big share here. I would be like kind of avoiding starting the sex. I would just talk to them longer and kiss with them longer, because I knew it was going to be hard for me to get turned on. But now I'm going to do something where I just start with the sex right away and maybe just talk to them later. I'm just trying to figure out like how I can get turned on for these guys that I don't know and don't have feelings for. Do you guys relate? It's not that they repulse me. They don't. I love to kiss them all. I love to kiss them. I love to talk to them. I love having them here. It's hard to get wet for them. Put it that way. But the guys don't have trouble getting hard. You guys don't have trouble getting hard. You guys don't have trouble getting hard because you see a pretty woman, your cock gets hard. That's how nature made you. It's a beautiful thing. I love that about you guys. I just want you to understand, that's why I'm doing this, that for me as a woman, my response to you is based a lot on, well, how horny I am at the moment. So you want to catch a woman when she's ovulating. How I feel about you. Of course, there are no resentments in the way, so that's a plus. And how good you touch me and turn me on. Like, sometimes it's a struggle. So, but I wanna figure this out so that if I feel like if I can figure this out, I can share with other women. One thing I will say is that I got older, or I do have dry skin anyway, but there's this really good product, ladies. If your vulva is dry and that skin on the outside, that external skin inside the labia, that pink skin is very delicate, very, very delicate. It's more delicate than the skin on our lips. It's like a very, very, almost like a very fragile, like a very fine skin, very thin, fine skin, delicate. And when you touch it when it's dry, it freaking hurts. Like, I can touch this when it's dry, but touch that pink skin when it's dry, oh my God. You guys know, you ladies know what I'm talking about. And so there's this cream I buy called Vulva Care. I get it on Amazon, which is great. It has like a petroleum-like consistency, and I put it on at night and in the morning. It's very moisturizing, and that helps because, see, the reason that if I don't have that there, I can't even masturbate because it hurts because my skin is dry. So I'm giving you a little tip here because I don't want to take hormones or drugs. This is just like a balm made with oil. There's another one called Rose Woman Everyday Balm, which is like 3 times as expensive. It has this wonderful scent, which does the same thing. But it's like a very thick petroleum jelly-like consistency, but it's not made from petrolatum. It's made from oils. But they stay on. They don't absorb right away. So it's a really good way to keep your vulva like on the exterior nice and moist. And I don't use lube for intercourse, but last week I did use it a few times, and maybe I will start using it. I know a lot of women really like to use it, but I feel like if I'm turned on, I shouldn't need it. I digress. So then this gets into me thinking about a relationship. So I'm like, okay, I have a guy, and when I like a guy, I'm super freaking turned on. I'm just like, I don't have problems with any of the wetness and turn on stuff, but does that last? I mean, eventually he's not going to turn me on that much anymore, and then he's going to want sex all the time. I may not want to fuck him. And now what? So I don't know if I even want a relationship. I'm just like really thinking like it might be more of a problem than a benefit. And look, I already had my marriage. My ex-husband was a decent guy. I have great kids. I already did the whole marriage thing that a lot of you younger people want to do. I already did all that. I already got all that. Now I'm 60, okay? Now what? And maybe I just want to do line dancing and play piano and make YouTube videos. Maybe, I don't know what will come next. I don't know. But I don't feel that when I think about a relationship anymore, I feel more like it's a detriment to my life rather than an addition. I no longer think of it as something I would want. I've admitted to the fact that I'm not going to be able to get someone young and hot because I'm older. Guys like younger women, and so my prospects are guys 60 plus. I'm just not feeling it anymore. If those are my prospects, yeah, guys check me out when I walk, whatever. Guys pay me to fuck me. That's my sexual market value. My relationship market value, I get guys 60 plus who are like overweight or not really what I'm looking for. I don't feel connected with them. I don't feel like they're, we have enough in common or whatever. I'm starting to feel like, and because I have men that see me in appointments, I love men. I already have men I see in appointments. So I get men there. I have men who subscribe to my Just for Fans. So I get to be sexy for men. I get to make videos for men. So I have men who watch my videos. That's my intellectual connection. I have men that sometimes I support a little bit with tips. I have men that I'm sexual with and physical with and affectionate with. So I already have men. I have the best of men. I get the best of men without having to put up with, their anxiety, their depression, their snoring, their loud TV, their dirty laundry all over the place. And they come to me and when they're at their best, they're in a good mood, they're excited to see me. So I really think that being an escort is the best way for women to go in older age, as long as we can keep our libido. And that's very important because they want me to enjoy fucking them. So that's super important to keep the libido. If the libido's gone, I am shit out of luck. So stay tuned. I'm gonna figure this out because I've lost my libido before and I got it back. I lost my libido before because I was letting men touch me in a way that I didn't like. They didn't know I didn't like it. I didn't say anything. They were just too gropey, too quick, and I let them and I lost my libido. And so now I have to listen to my body and figure out why I lost it now. I didn't lose my libido. I'm just having a hard time getting it back for clients. And so in terms of getting wet, I'm having a harder time getting wet. Put it that way. That's what it is. And when I don't get wet, I don't like it. I feel like I'm letting people down or something. I have a hard time with the libido. And I hate to say this in a video because some of my clients watch my videos and they might be like, well, I don't want to see her anymore. And that's why I haven't wanted to say this before, but fuck it. I want to say this. I want to be honest. I don't want to be a person who lies and deceives and withholds information. So I'm just going to say it. And I still want to see them anyway because I always have a good time. And I don't have to be turned on to give a blowjob or to kiss them, I just have to be turned on to come for them. That's the hard part. I'm just like, I don't want to come for you. I have this appointment coming up, but I don't want to come for you. I just don't want to I just can't generate the emotional, I just can't generate the arousal. And guys have no trouble. They're like, there's a beautiful woman. I have a cock. She has a pussy. Game on. But it's not the same way for a woman, you guys. And that's why you can count on me to figure this shit out and give you a good time. If you want to contact me for coaching, I'm at the Treasure Within Coaching. You can also follow me on Twitter, Raven Hawthorne 4, and you can, drop your comments below and share your own experiences with why you think a relationship would be so great. I know I made a comment before about why I think a relationship would be great, but my mood flips on things. Like yesterday I made a video about something and I went to sleep and I'm like, I don't feel that way anymore. I feel a completely different way about it. Some days I'm so horny that I'm like, I gotta have some guys to fuck. And other days I'm like, I don't want to fuck. I am not turned on. I gotta get turned on. How am I gonna get turned on? So that's kind of the fun part of being a woman, is like these different moods just come through me. Thank you for watching my video.